Looking at contentment today, what does it mean to be content? Why should we be content? What difference does it make to our lives, whether we're content or not? Looking at contentment, I took the liberty of checking for the definition of that word contentment, and the dictionary defines contentment as a state of happiness and satisfaction. So what does that have to do with us? Well, contentment helps us to experience a constant state of happiness and satisfaction. Now, how do we get there? Well, there are a number of ways, but one way that we can begin to experience contentment is living in the present. What do I mean by that? Well, when I say living in the present, it's appreciating where you are at the moment and enjoying life at the moment where you are. There's a man in the Bible where he was a boy at this time named Joseph. And if you look at Genesis chapter 39 verse 2, I'm just going to paraphrase. It says something about Joseph. It says that God was with Joseph and he was a prosperous, well, paraphrasing, he was prosperous. Now, bearing in mind that when the Bible says that Joseph was prosperous because God was with him, things weren't going exactly the way he wanted. He had been, taken into slavery. A lot of bad things, in quote, were happening to him, although God had promised him a very bright future. So even though he hadn't reached the future that God had promised him, which was meant to be really nice, really fulfilling, Joseph didn't dwell on the fact that he hadn't gotten to where he wanted to get to in the future, what God had promised him. He lived in the present. He appreciated the present. He took it day by day. So how does this relate to us? Well, am I saying that we shouldn't plan for the future or we shouldn't look into the future to see how life might be better? No, I'm not saying that. We should look to the future for a better future. We should plan for the future. However, if we focus too much on the future and neglect the present, then it's possible that we might not really appreciate what we have at the moment, and we might not experience that state of contentment that the dictionary defines. So what am I saying today? I'm just saying that as we begin to live in the present, as we begin to appreciate where we are right now at the moment, looking around us and saying, okay, things might not be exactly how I have expected it to be at this point in time, but just stepping back and appreciating your life now and living in the present begins to get to a place where you can experience contentment. So contentment is not a destination, it's a state, and you can experience that state right where you are.